I want to show you guys something, and I just want to get your opinion real quick. So you guys know who Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is, correct? He is an actor who is known for being a very large man. He used to be in wrestling and all these other things, right? And he's always been very, very big. He works out a lot. He's been in numerous movies where the size of him is the important part, how massive he is. And here you have him looking absolutely tiny, and it is being displayed everywhere on social media. Everybody's talking about The Rock and how he's dropped all this weight. And it made me think of when, you guys know who Dave Bautista is. He lost a lot of weight also recently, which is crazy. He went from being this huge, massive guy. Cause look, this is what we're dealing with. This is Bautista on the top. That's how big he was. And that's how little he is. Now he looks like, you know, he stole somebody's aunt's outfit from their closet. I don't know what's going on there. If he's going the whole trans version, I don't know what that is. And then this is The Rock. He was massive and now he looks tiny. And it's absolutely crazy to me because a lot of people are dragging him for looking the way he does, but you have to think about this. And I know this is way off topic of anything we normally do over here, but I think it's a very important conversation to have. A lot of times it's women that are being dragged on social media for their weight. Jessica Simpson, when she went from tiny in, what was it? Dukes of Hazzard. She was super tiny and then she ballooned up when she got pregnant. She gained a lot of weight and people dragged her for gaining weight as a woman and who had a kid and whatever else. And then you lose too much weight and they drag you for being too skinny. Well, Bautista got dragged when he lost a ton of weight after his movies. Now The Rock is getting dragged, but a lot of people don't realize that the things that these men have done throughout their lives in order to be as big as they were is not natural. And it is definitely not safe and healthy for your body. There was a whole new documentary that came out about Ronnie Coleman. If you guys know, he is massive bodybuilder. He cannot even walk. He has to literally pull himself up onto a stage by his arms because his legs and his spine, his back no longer works from all of the extreme pressure he put his body under. And then all of the drugs that he put into his body. I mean, steroids will cause massive, massive issues with your body over time. Bautista, there's no way he was as big as he was naturally. The Rock, no matter how big he got, no matter how much he said he was eating to gain weight, and he was working out to gain weight, it's not natural. None of that is natural. If you've ever been in the gym and been part of trying to grow muscles or lose weight or whatever, you know how many people take these little shortcuts to get to where they are, to help boost them to the size, the whatever they need to be. Now, with The Rock losing all this weight, people are like, well, you know, he's almost 60 years old. I think he's only 52. I don't think he's almost 60. 52 feels like closer to 50 than 60. You know, mathematically, that's how that works. He's not almost 60, but he is getting older. And he has to, you know, he's got a wife, he's got daughters, he's got his kids, but they're also saying that he wants to take on more serious roles. And unfortunately, visually, people have a tendency to judge who you are, what you can do, or what you're good at based off how you look. So if big, beefy, hulked up looking mofo walks in and he wants to have some serious role about maybe being a brain surgeon, they're gonna be like, okay, yeah, no, we need you to look a little more the part. Although looking the part has been decided on by people, not the part itself. Anybody can do any part no matter what they look like, but because we as society have decided if you look this way, you can do that part. If you look this way, you're better for that part. You know what I mean? So he's lost a lot of weight, right? A lot of people are saying, well, he's got this new role coming out where he's a MMA fighter and something. In the beginning, when The Rock was The Rock, you know, with the eyebrow and the whatever in the ring, he was small. He did not get this big until he started taking on movie roles. He was not this massive in the ring when he was wrestling. John Cena got bigger after he left and decided to do movie roles. He got bigger than he was in the ring. It's a whole thing, but I think it's crazy that people are losing their minds over the fact that The Rock is skinny now. Who gives a shit? I know it sounds hypocritical because I'm making a video about it, but that's the whole point. Like, everybody else is dragging this man for either stopping the steroids or not working out as hard as he was. But you have to understand that as you get older, you have to do more and more and more to get your body to stay consistently what it was. I've put on 30 pounds since COVID hit, not because I wanted to. In the beginning, I was still working out and it wasn't giving me the same results. And then I personally myself was like, listen, fuck it. I'd much rather be happy and enjoying my life than counting the calories and killing myself in a gym and doing whatever else. Am I the healthiest I've ever been? Hell no. But am I happy? Yeah. When I was the healthiest I've ever been, I look at pictures of myself and I was not smiling. Now I might wish I didn't have a double chin and a belly and whatever else, but I smile because I enjoy my life. Maybe for The Rock, this is what he needs to be able to enjoy life. Maybe instead of being in the gym and constantly working out and doing all these things, stopping it is what's going to help him enjoy his life. He can go hang out with his kids and go eat the meal and go do whatever instead of having to deal with this crazy regimen of pills and diet and workout and whatever else. So then, y'all, hold on, let me pull up what I had here because people are talking about how much he's changed, but he's not changing for the worse. Whereas some people out there, they look like they have been dragged through the ringer over the last couple of years. To me, this is not that. And it's going to be some type of way when I show you the people. But I mean, look at the people who have gone absolutely batshit over the last couple of years, the way they have aged, how awful they look. At least The Rock does not look like that, right? At least he is still whatever. There's a lot of, this one was hilarious to me though, I'm not even gonna lie, the original versus the rebrand, you know what I'm saying? But if he's doing what he needs to do for himself, his family, whatever, I'm not gonna hate on the man for not being as big as he was. That feels really, really dumb in my personal opinion to drag somebody because of that. People are gonna do it though. People are going to be out there talking about it and how when he moves, he doesn't look the same. Like we've already seen his movement and they're saying, he doesn't look the same. The smile isn't the same. Everything looks different. When you gain weight, everything looks different when you lose weight. It is what it is. But he seems to be perfectly fine, perfectly happy. But what if it's not? That's where I wanted to go with all this. And I've kind of sidetracked my own self. But what if it's not? What if this literally is something physically wrong with him? That's why, because he posted up on August 26th, I believe it was. He posted something for his dad, okay? And he said, "Happy heavenly birthday, Dad." And he's showing all these pictures of him and his dad, down in there. That's his dad's pecs, I guess, and his dad, whatever. But this is what he had to say. And I think that you have to pay attention to the words that people use and try to understand where they're coming from. He said, "My dad's birthday was yesterday and I thought about him a lot. I had a good amount of I wonder if thoughts about him and our relationship. He raised me with a tough and complex love, but at least I had love, I know a lot of men in my life who never had their father's love at all. Hard to reconcile stuff with your dad when he's no longer here, but nonetheless, regardless of challenges or any struggles, my dad was a life adapter and he taught me to be the same. Work hard and adapt. I'll always be grateful for that lesson." And then he's, happy birthday, whatever. But I read that as maybe there's something that now Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is having to adapt to. Maybe this weight loss isn't for a role. Maybe it's because he's tired of, all the harsh regime that he's been under. Maybe there is something he's adapting to. What if there's something physically wrong with him? What if there's some sort of a diagnosis that he has gotten? Unless he comes out and speaks on this, we're not going to know. And obviously it's just going to be a bunch of guessing and whatevering. But we as people have become so good at making assumptions thanks to social media. I am just as guilty as every other person out there. Please understand, I'm not trying to say that I am better than anybody else, but I do try to look at things from different perspectives, generally speaking. Sometimes I'm too emotional and I only look at things from one point of view, like the whole trans push. You know how I feel about that. Not looking at that from any other angle, except for the stupid one that it is. But with this, I'm thinking, what if it is something else? What if it is health related and everything else? And here you have people on social media dragging this man because he has lost some weight. We don't know what people are going through. And so even I, for myself, over the last couple weeks, couple months, you guys have seen changes over here. I'm not as political as I was. I'm not as mean. Somebody called me mean and it stuck with me. And I was like, man, I do feel mean when I talk about people the way I do, because it's not innately who I am to just crap on people on a daily basis, right? So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking to myself, my first thought is, man, right? Like he looked better before. And then my second thought is, why? He doesn't look bad now. He still looks good. The Rock still looks good no matter what size he is. It doesn't matter. And then my third thought, unfortunately, was, What if there's something wrong? And here we are picking this man apart based off his looks when there's something physical, health-wise going on, because you just never know. But then it made me think that I hope this man has a good insurance, because if there is something wrong with him, he's going to want to be taken care of correctly. So I am going to harp on this probably for the next month. You guys are going to get tired of hearing me talk about chapter and everything else, but the annual open enrollment is coming up October 15th through December 7th. If you happen to be on Medicare or need to be on Medicare, have made any life changes, are curious even if your Medicare coverage is correct, please call Chapter. It's a free phone call. They will talk to you, figure out what you have, what you need, what's best for you. It might save you some money. It might cost you more money, but get you better coverage, better whatever. I'm just saying it's worth the phone call. So I always mention it to you guys that you need to give them a call. The number is in the description. I have a link in the description for everything else that you might possibly need. Make sure you guys are giving them a call to make sure that you guys are safe and taken care of, because The Rock, he's got tons of money falling out his butt. He can do whatever he wants to do when it comes to who he sees and whatever else, because he has the money to do it. Not everybody has the money to do it. So make sure you guys have the right coverage for yourselves, okay? So that's it. That's all I want to talk about The Rock. I love y'all, and I'll see you again a little bit later. Bye-bye.